It's time once again then for qualifying here at Silverstone on what we're hoping will be a tight contest for pole position. In recent seasons, much talk has been made about tyre wear. Some say it gets in the way of the racing, others say it's always been part of the sport. Are we going to see drivers trying to look after their tyres here, or throw caution to the wind and worry about that when it becomes a problem?
Tyre wear is always something you have to consider to a certain degree. Finding a good car balance that suits the circuit will help prolong the life of the tyre, but it's true that some circuits, such as this one, are more challenging than others. How hard you can push them depends on your strategy and how tight the battle is around you.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. A Red Bull, Vettel and George Russell. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race? It didn't look like you put much time into practice today. Is there a... Great. Well, that's everything.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. The 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit in Great Britain is hallowed ground to the Formula One faithful. We have 18 corners that wrap around this former World War II airbase and some good passing opportunities at the end of the DRS zones. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's begin by talking about Antonio Giovinazzi. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. It's Red Bull in pole position then, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Norris, Devon Butler and Faber, Hamilton, Verstappen, Magnussen and Sergio Perez, Leclerc, Gasly, Valtteri Bottas and Albon, Raikkonen, Stroll, Carlos Sainz and Robert Kubica, Grosjean. And Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks. This pace is strong, but be aware your tyres need to go the distance. Confirmed. Copy. This engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon. We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy. You have 4 laps till your pit window opens. Okay, we should be good on tyres for a while. The wear doesn't seem too bad at the moment. Just take care when you load them up. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. Okay, the gap behind is 4.0 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:28.9. Here's who we're really fighting today, Hamilton and Vettel. Okay, tyres still looking good, Nick. Let's keep them that way for as long as we can. Brake hard into the next couple of corners. The brakes are running too cold. Let's box this lap. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. You are in first position, front of the pack. Russell behind. The gap behind us is 5.6 seconds. They're on old softs. The pit window is open. Pit window currently open. 6 laps to go. Box, box, box. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Go now. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Sebastian is in the pits. Some information on Leclerc. They have some kind of mechanical problem. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. Ahead of you, the gap to the car ahead is 3.7 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 9 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 30.9. Our gap to the car in front is 3.1 seconds. The gap to the car behind is 8.1 seconds. Teammate by 10.8 seconds. They're on fresh medium. They're in 10th. Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 7.4 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 10 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:29.8. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. We're in P4. Sainz ahead. Gap to car in front is 5.2 seconds. They're on old softs. Russell is behind you. Our gap behind is 9.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The gap to the leader is 11.8 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. lap, final lap of the race. They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Some information on Butler. Hamilton is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 10.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 27.9. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. The track is clear. Green flag. Great drive. We did it. Good job.
Red Bull pulling out all the stops today. What a great win. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. Our current championship leader dominated the track, securing a win and further increasing their advantage. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull pull further ahead in the standings. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today, as they make their way up the standings.
Great work this weekend. It was fantastic to see you up on that podium.